The reason that I work at Sounders FC and the reason I love my job so much is because that personal passion and the mission of our organization to create moments, enrich lives, and unify through soccer are the same. Soccer for me has been ever present in my life. The chance to work for the franchise was not one that I set out to do. It wasn't a path that was available to me coming out of law school at the University of Washington. I think as lawyers, we often come out of law school as business people trying to advise the business, and in sports especially, we're kind of scrappy. We still have a startup mentality, and lawyers get other projects as a side. And so for me, that was pretty early on in 2017, the opportunity to run the bid for the World Cup for the city of Seattle. Washington State was one of the first state associations now 50 years ago to separate and have a pathway for girls to play. That coincided with Title IX, and both of those forces are why I'm sitting here, because soccer was never not an option for me as a player in this part of the world. But that ethos, that intergenerational sort of grounding and foundation was threaded through the bid. Well, what if we use this event to sort of capture the imagination, the attention, create a moment, a core memory for every 8-year-old in the state of Washington. And it's that kind of energy that we have the capacity to harness through this event, and it's the biggest legacy that we could have. How do we take this most democratic and egalitarian sport that is played in every nook and cranny of the world by every human being from every gender, every sexual orientation, every race, every age, every ability, and connect every 8-year-old to that family, that global family? And yes, sure, a little bit hyperbolic, but why not? Why not have that as the sort of core truth of the decision making that we do inside of this bid? And that was a piece of our bid process. And I think one that really resonated strongly with the team at FIFA and the team sort of that now is tasked with bringing this event to reality at the biggest event ever. The best part about this event coming at this moment in 2026 is that it allows us to capitalize on some long-term investments that have been made across the region by many of us who have voted for many, many years in support of things like sustainable public transit, for things like the waterfront, that we have this amazing new playground that will open at Waterfront. The shots around the world, I mean, that's the drone shot that I imagine, right? Is Fan Fest, Pier 62, beautiful, spectacular sunny day on the waterfront in the city of Seattle. And to know that that is the visual image of this diverse, jubilant, joyous crowd of people at the water's edge that are being convened in a place that in our part of the world has convened people for thousands of years and is this new convening. That's the shot that goes around the world. What a better postcard to anybody that would want to come to this region. This is a city and a state that can and should be hosting major events. We can do it sustainably. We can do it with an incredible emphasis on equity and ensuring that we're centering people who have historically been left out of that narrative.
Her focus on the health, wellness, happiness, and well-being of youth is incredibly important. She is on the board of directors for the Laureate Foundation, and one of their big goals is, can we put in place 26 fields by 2026, which is the same year as our World Cup will take place. And those play fields are being put in place that will be wrapped around with education and other projects and wellness initiatives in places where it doesn't exist today, where we don't have that easy, convenient access to play fields and that sort of programming.
We're working with the public schools to essentially create a mini pitch, which is a small field where elementary school kids can learn to play not just soccer, but other field games, as well as a really much more robust play area and green space. And so these mini pitches are going to be an opportunity for kids to have access close to home to be able to learn and play sports. 26 fields throughout the region by 2026 when the World Cup comes, which, we have the World Cup here thanks to Maya. and her effort to bring the world to Seattle and to showcase Seattle as the best example of how the World Cup should be done.
I think that our region is not yet fully comprehending the true impact that that event will have. And we can trace it right back to Maya and her influence in assembling the bid, bringing all of the key partners together to really back the support of this event, and now her role in helping to bring it to life. It's an incredible accomplishment.
I did not write a poem or anything. But I am going to quote from the Rave Foundation's beliefs. They say, "Play is not a privilege. Play is essential to the growth and well-being of all children. A dedicated play space can anchor a community and nurture a child. Through play, everyone belongs. Play brings joy, and joy cultivates wellness."